This is Ashley.
And Cindy.
And this is Life for Dummies.
Because we're real dumb.
You have no idea.
You just really don't. Maybe you're getting an idea.
Maybe, a little bit. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about self-sabotage.
Oh, boy.
Sounds really fun, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
You start.
Okay, so what I mean by self-sabotage is, things are going really great in your life and you have this pit in your stomach all the time because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Something bad always happens. Things can't be going this great all the time. So, I have a great idea. I'm going to do something and burn my life back to the ground before it happens. I'm going to make this happen before it actually happens because I'm fearful and afraid that I'm going to get what I always got. So I might as well just go ahead and get it over with.
That's really powerful. I was reading some kind of motivational documents recently, and it talked about how a large percentage, I think 86% of people out there say their biggest detriment to success in life, no matter the area, is self-sabotage.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know.
I thought it was just me.
Because the world,
revolves around me.
World of Cindy. World of Ashley. No, yeah, isn't that so fascinating? It's not just, people who have the disease of addiction.
I actually find that very interesting. I've never heard that before. So it makes sense, though. It's just...
Why?
Well, because I think a lot of people... So we live life and we have these defense mechanisms that we use, correct? And they shield us from certain things. But at some point, they just go awry. And then it just becomes detrimental to our own well-being. And that's where I think self-sabotage falls into that. It's just this thought process of, well, nothing ever works out the right way for me anyway, so I might as well go ahead and mess it up before it gets messed up, because then I know what I'm getting, right?
Yeah, I actually am grateful for my rock bottom and this way of life because it has shown me that I can succeed at something doing a little bit of it every day long term. And that's the way to succeed at anything. It's just continuing to do what needs to be done today over an extended period of time.
And consistency is the key to it. That part right there. If I am consistent in what I'm doing and it continues to work, then I need to continue to be consistent, because living this way of life is the one thing that gave me this life that I have. So in order for me to continue to have it, I have to keep doing it, and I just keep doing it until, and it just keeps getting better and better. But if I stop doing the one thing that got me here, then I am doomed to go back to those old behaviors where self-sabotage seems like a great idea.
Right. In our instance, it's picking up, right? I would find myself back sitting at the bar stool. And quickly, I would lose everything that I had attained and amassed in my life. And you and I see it happening all the time. Actually, even more so, what we see is fentanyl being cut into drugs today and people just not coming back at all.
Yeah, it's not a matter of, if or when. If you're continuing to do these things, if and when are going to happen. You're going to die. And no one needs to end that way. It doesn't need to happen because there is a solution. You need to change your perspective to change your life. Remove these behaviors that are making your life unmanageable, that are harming you. And once you do that, it's a little painful. It can get a little messy, like we've talked about. But then you're finally in the solution. And that's what we're here for. We're here for the solutions.
I was at this event last night, and just a couple ladies were talking about the various activities, and so while yours our self sabotage, you and me, Cindy, is pretty extreme, right? Like, oh boy, we'll pick up, we'll use some kind of mind altering substance, and probably we'll be living under a bridge pretty quick. But I was talking to these ladies, and there's all forms today. And since we're talking about self sabotage, not just for people with the disease of addiction, one woman was just talking about, I would love to be able to wake up and do this one activity that's good for me in the morning, but I just won't go to sleep early enough. Like every night, I just stay up, and I'm not really doing anything in particular. I'm just staying up in my house, So just these small behaviors in life, it sounds like can really impact that consistency towards success.
Absolutely. And you have to, so if you want a certain result, right, there's certain things you're going to have to do to get that result. So I know for me, like one of those is making sure that I take care of myself in all areas of my life so I can continue to live this way and not like stay up late, because I used to be one of the, I was a night owl. I'm going to stay up late even if I'm not doing anything important. Just this whole idea, like, I got to stay up late. Well, what are you doing? Nothing. And then I'm tired the next day. I'm sluggish. I'm dragging. That is, like you said, a form of self sabotage. Like, nothing is going to get done that needs to get done. And then I'm going to feel bad about it, because then I start to tell myself, well, you're useless. You're worthless. So, whatever we do, mind, body, and spirit, if we're not doing the right things, it's going to feed that, you know, damaging part where we harm ourselves, where we make our lives unmanageable.
And a lot of the times it's hard to get out of the rut because these are habits we've created and formed in our life. And so therefore the self-sabotage is just the easier path. It's easier to self-sabotage and go back to where I was because that's what my subconscious is used to. That's what I'm used to on a day-to-day basis. And there's a lot of people who, in that success mindset, like self-help area or just motivational help area today, they talk about, right, moving towards stages of success interiorly with training ourselves to be able to acquire higher levels of success. It's actually training our interior, our subconscious level. And there's this big angst, right, that happens within because we're just so used to our old patterns of behavior, and humans just kind of, like to stay in whatever they're comfortable with. And moving beyond that is how we're going to attain the success we want in life. It's just going to be a little bit of a struggle, which is why I'm grateful for my rock bottom, because it allowed me a community of like minded individuals that I could reach out to for help.
Exactly. And if you think you're at your rock bottom and you think it can't get any worse, I was one of those people. I'm here to tell you, you can keep digging, and it can get worse, and the bottom can fall out, and it can keep getting worse. So here's your opportunity to stop right now. Stop, change, and that's the hard part, right? The change. No one wants to change, it's not comfortable, like we talk about. Change is scary. What's it going to look like? Who am I going to be? But you know what? You can change to succeed, or you can not change and continue to get what you always got. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to get what I always got. I strive for better. I strive for more, and not like more material things. I strive for more peace, more serenity, more calmness, And that's why I always used, because it shut up the voices in my head and it gave me that calm that I was looking for until it didn't.
I was on an airplane recently and talking to the gentleman next to me, a corporate guy, and I was just saying, do what you love, because he was showing me, all the production that he does on the side with him and his buddies in his house and in his summer house, and that's not what he does professionally in the corporate gig. And he's like, he laughed. He's like, yeah, right. Do what I love. That doesn't like pay the bills or whatever. And I was like, well, actually, like today, what you're doing in that world of music production, it's pretty good, right? Like, there's a lot of people doing well in it. And he's like, yeah, but in order to get there, I would have to be so brave.
Mm, brave.
And I was like, yeah, it takes a lot of courage, but it's so worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. If I was not brave on some level and didn't really want something different than what I always got, I would have not taken that first step and admitted that there was a problem and I was my problem and that there is a solution to my problem. But I have to seek it out and I have to be willing to change everything in order to get it. How badly do you want it? How badly do you want to change? How badly do you want to be successful and succeed and be happy?
Yeah, and it's the fear. Like that's kind of what holds us back usually when we think about stepping out there. I know that I experienced so much fear in even thinking about starting something like this, right? Originally I was talking to you, we were talking about content and different content that I could do, and because I was just, afraid of what other people would think about me. And I can't have both and. I can't worry about what other people are going to think about me and at the same time fulfill my dreams.
A very wise person once told me, it's not your business what other people think about you. And I thought, what does that even mean?
That's
Or
good.
yeah, or if it's further than your nose, it's none of your business. And I'm like, what does any of this mean? And what it comes down to is it really doesn't matter. You know, other people are going to think what they're going to think. They're going to do what they're going to do, and none of that matters. What matters is what I do today. You know, am I living to my fullest potential? Am I being, a good person? Am I happy, joyous, and free? Today, those answers are yes, absolutely. If they ever start to be no, then I have to go back and take a look at what's going on inside because it usually has more to do about how I'm treating myself and what I'm saying to myself when no one's watching.